You like my Saint Maud outfit? Alright, fine. All right. Yeah, okay, maybe it doesn't work as well. It's kind of creepy, whatever. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today our movie in the middle is Saint Maud. We finally have gotten this movie in America. Now, yes, it did come out in theaters a little bit before last Friday, but it finally came out for streaming for people who wanted to just watch it in their homes and couldn't get to the theaters last Friday on Epix. And I think I've been waiting with a few other people to watch this for like the better part of a year, like most people in America. And Jared Smorko and I watched it last Friday, and oh my god, this is a movie. Saint Maud is directed by Rose Glass and stars Morfydd Clark. I had to write it down, and Jennifer L. Because those are some names. And it's basically about a newly converted Catholic nurse who is trying to save the soul of her dying patient. She's just attending to her in the patient's house. The patient's name's Amanda, and obviously her name is Maud. This is a very polarizing movie. I joined the A24 group on Facebook, and some people are like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. Some people are like, this is the worst movie. This is trash. A lot of people were saying that this was going to be the scariest movie since Hereditary, which is also another A24. This is the newest A24 movie that is like one of those slow-burning horror movies like The Lighthouse, Midsommar, The Witch, and Hereditary. And people were saying that this was going to be the scariest one. Is it? I am not so sure. But let me talk about the pros first. There are a lot of them. Maud herself, Morfydd Clark, does an incredible job. She is creepy as hell, but not like creepy in the sense of like she's just evil, but creepy in terms of like she is so into like saving this woman's life that she is going through extreme lengths and like crossing boundaries and stuff. I mean, it's really creepy, and the farther she gets into this, the worse it gets and the more detached from like a real person she becomes. It's insane. And it's not even like she's just creepy or just being what's the word, corrupted, I guess. I don't know. She actually has a moment where she sort of fails to herself, and then she gets reconverted again, even more like a revelation. And so it really strengthens that for her, which is like by the end of the movie, you're just like, yeah, she's totally gone. I mean, it's super creepy, and it's not even like the concept itself is creepy because it's like doing terrible things to save somebody's soul rather than like because you're a devil or something. It's like supposed to be for a good purpose. It's super creepy. And you never really know if who she's talking to and believing in is God or Satan or someone in the middle. I don't think that's ever explicitly said, but there's a lot that is implied with that as well, especially towards the end. Visually, it's also incredibly suspenseful. Visually and story-wise, it's very suspenseful and creepy as hell. You're just like, something's coming every like 5 minutes. And it's also really short, so it packs a lot in like 80 minutes. And you know that it's going to be like, you're not going to be sitting there like, this is too slow or whatever. Most of their slow burning ones are long. This one's an hour and 20 minutes. So you start and you're like already halfway over by the time you even know it. So it is really, really good in terms of just like lots of creepy moments, lots of, I don't want to say generic, but like really weird horror. Really awesome. My one big low, I only have one, and it's a big one. For every single suspenseful moment they have, there is not nearly as much of a release as there should be. It'll give you so much suspense and slow burning stuff, and then give you like a piece of something that would be like your wow, okay, that's what we were leading up to. Maybe a piece of that. Or if it gives you a lot, it's very quick. And it just felt, when the movie was over, as much as I didn't want to feel it, I felt pretty unsatisfied. I don't know if that was the hype or if that was the movie or both, because this movie was hyped up a lot for me. I thought this was going to be super scary. And it is. I've been watching horror movies now like every week for the last year, so I'm pretty desensitized by this point. Um, so there are a lot of actually very scary and creepy things. Don't get me wrong on that. But It just feels for as much suspense as there is leading up to each scene and leading up to the end. It feels like everything either goes so super quick or there's just not enough of it. And it's not like it doesn't make sense. Like story wise, you're just like, yeah, I mean, I guess everything was pretty much tied up or implied how it would be tied up. It just feels like they introduce a lot of little things that they don't really come back to as much, or that they deal with it, but it's just like not a lot. Like when Maud goes back to the house at the very end, for the final scenes, I was just like, this is gonna be super creepy, and it's over in like 2 minutes. Um, so that's my biggest low with it. I will say, however, for as a little bit, not super, but a little bit underwhelming as like the end climax is, this movie has one of the best, if not the best, ending shot or shots I have seen in years. It implies so much, and it's also shocking, and it's also very visually incredible. I was not prepared. It's one of those that goes so quick that like you're like, wow, and then like 10 minutes later you're like, wow, like it really hits you. It's just more and more because it's so quick. It's one of my favorite shots. Last year had some incredible ending shots from all these movies that I've been catching up on and seeing, but I think this one for me was the best because it's so shocking, but it also implies so much. It's incredible. So that ending, if there's anything in this movie, that ending. Yeah, so I'm gonna give Saint Maud a 3 out of 4. I would have loved to have given this a 3.5 or even 4 out of 4, but again, it had a lot that it could have done. It basically was like you set up an incredible foundation of a movie, and you got to the surface of it. And if you had added some other stuff in, you could have made it even better. Like what's there is fine, but you could have made it even better. So but still, it is a very, very good horror movie. Hereditary is still my favorite of the A24s, but this definitely tops for me like The Lighthouse and Midsommar, I think. Because more does happen than Midsommar and The Lighthouse. But yeah, go see Saint Maud if you're a horror fan and you've been waiting to. If you're a horror fan, you've probably already seen it because you were waiting to see it. But it's on Epix, and through Prime, you can do the 7-day free trial for Epix, I believe, and you can watch it through there. So go check that out. And as always, keep your hopes high, your stress low, and movies right in the middle. I'll see you guys later.